Hi, Tanzanites. It's your girl, DJ Miss Tan, aka Tanya Cummings. I know it's been a while, but I am back and we are doing our Father's Day series. It's okay, Dad. It is for, that's what I should have put in my background. Dang it. But, anyways, today I am so excited about my guest. He is a dad. I'm going to let him toot his own horn, but I want to say we're going to talk about some serious things and we're going to have some fun things. This episode is for my dad. So before I get too much into it, I'm going to let my guest introduce himself. Welcome. Tell us your name and just a little bit about you. Look at that smile.
Doot, doot. That's me tooting my own horn. I look like my eyes look swollen, like I've been crying. How you doing, baby?
I am. Ugh, you know what weekend it is. So first,
Yes.
before we get into that, we're gonna tell us who you are. Can you ever follow instructions?
I was about to. You just cut me off.
But you
Like
asked
real
me how I
smooth.
was doing.
Yeah, I was
You
just
know
asking
we
you how
gonna get
you.
off track real fast.
Yes,
Tell us
Lord.
who you are.
Okay. So I am Andre Peeko Train. I ain't gonna tell y'all my real name because y'all might think I'm insane. Anyway, I am retired military, did 22 years in the United States Army. You know what I'm saying? Killer type guy. Y'all see that killer look right here? Is that a killer look? No, the killer look is this. Yes, but anyway, I moved to Jacksonville, Florida, 2017. Started my company called Carter Boys Entertainment, where we, do talent and film, do movies and stuff like that. I also have a nonprofit organization called Rebuilding Unity Through Healing Hearts. RUTH is the acronym. My mother's middle name and my grandmother's last name, and we teach, train, and mentor kids in a way that a way that a way that a way. So that's what I do. I'm an actor. I am uh, a advocate of mental health. I love talking about mental health because I suffer with it myself. And I am a father. I am a brother. I am somebody's son. I think. Yeah, I am somebody's son, but that's who I am, all in a nutshell. And before we begin this thing, you better give me that energy, Tanya, that you always come with, big.
listen, listen. Speaking of nutshell, he is definitely a nut. What's
Ooh,
happening is let me remove some of this back. Can you hear the music?
I can.
Okay, good. I just
It's
want to
very
make
pleasing.
sure that we could hear a little, in case we have a little, because we have to remember we're on audio and video. So for YouTube, we're going to be on video, but for the radio, we're going to be audio only. So, but my camera keeps getting blurry. It's driving me crazy. Zoom had an update and it is doing just what it wants to do. So,
Yeah, because it's blurring you. You're
so
blurred.
yeah, let me
Your
see what's
visual is
happening
blurred,
here.
darling.
I see. It's doing something on its own here. Jeez. Anyways,
You
we're
got,
gonna
I
keep
think you got
talking.
on, you probably got on automatic because I know when I did hit the little video thing, it had some kind of little blur thing that it blurs your,
Mm,
it adds, what it say,
well, we're
blur
gonna
my
keep
background. Turn it on.
talking for my audio people while we're getting the video together.
Oh, you good
So
now?
no, but it's gonna do it again. It keeps doing it for whatever reason.
Oh,
Whenever I move, it's like trying to adjust.
oh,
Something
okay.
is adjusting. So, because I don't do any editing and this is raw footage, we're going to keep talking while I try to figure out the video portion if that's okay with you.
That is okay.
All right. So, our series is about dads, and I'm having an event. This young man, or old man, I don't know, it's going to be part of my roundtable, but I'm interviewing my dads prior to just to upload and give homage to our dads and just to talk about some things that our dads can offer other dads throughout this season. All right. So first of all, what are you looking at right now? You looking at trying to figure out something because you are.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at you.
Oh,
Can you turn the music down just a little
oh, it
smidge?
is loud. Okay, good. That's good to know. All right. So we're gonna do freestyle because I know you want me to have energy, but This is a very important thing to my heart. Since I started this series, I found out you dads have to go through a lot.
We do.
A lot that A, you're not able to say because then you'll be accused of being soft or sassy. B, you just don't want to say because you feel like no one cares,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So, we're going to start with my question of this day because it could change tomorrow. As a dad, what would you change that people think, but it's really not the truth? Meaning, something that people think about dads. What would you tell us? One thing that's really not the truth that you guys have to experience.
That a lot of us are not no good fathers. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, you know how we get that oh
Stigma.
Lord, yeah, that stigma that, you know what I'm saying, black men are deadbeat dads, like all over the world. You know what I'm saying, that's tatted on our, our good name of being fathers. And you gotta imagine, like I always say this, man, and I'm actually doing a play about it, how fatherhood, back during slavery, I always jump back there because we do have post-traumatic slave disorder. And
Mm,
a lot of the stuff that happened to black men and black women back during slavery, you still see it to this day. I mean, you're a father to your child, you're raising your child, and then boom, your child gets sold uh, to another slave owner, and now he's being raised by another man or whatever. Whoop de whoop. Now we look at it, if you look at the reversal of it now in this generation, a lot of fathers are dealing with some mothers that don't allow them to be in that child's life. And no matter how hard they try, because I have friends like that. I mean, they are great dads to their children, and the parents are keeping them away from them. You know what I'm saying? Because of how they feel about the dad. And it's not about you and his relationship. You guys are no longer together. It's about the child. And they make it about themselves instead of the kid. And it's sad, you know what I'm saying? I dealt with it personally, and a lot of my other, especially military brothers, they've dealt with it too. As long as they can get child support from us, they good to go. You know what I'm saying? They don't worry about the relationship that father wants to build with that child. So if I could change anything, I would take that off our name that we are deadbeat fathers, because now it's like we're expected to live up to that word that's tatted on our good nature.
that is a very good answer. Since I've started the It's Okay Dad series and just reaching out to fathers for the free event that I'm doing on June 20th, I've heard many stories like this. I was literally at an event and this dad said, I paid child support so well, they gave me money back at the end, and I haven't seen my daughter in 13 years.
Yeah,
That when he left the mom, she promised to make his life miserable, and she's done just
yeah.
done just that. And tall, 6 foot something, I know, a tear slid down his cheek. He was hurt, you know. As a daughter, I experienced the same. God rest my dad. So my mom's not here to tell her version, but my parents got divorced when I was 9, and I was a daddy's girl. My dad was a truck driver, and he was in and out, and I just couldn't understand that, you know. And when
Yeah,
I got to college, he found me, and he came. He was so excited to see me, and I cussed him out like a man on the street, like a bum on the street. And I was like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
didn't come back for me. I didn't have the stuff I needed for senior year, whatever, whatever. And he just, my dad was never argumentative. He was always like, so I called my aunt, who's my mom's sister, to say, can you believe that N word showed up? And she's like, hold up, hold up, hold up. He's telling the truth.
yeah,
He tried to come back and forth throughout the years. When your mom got remarried, she told him not to, and he just honored her wishes.
yeah,
Now, this is not a day of, let me just text my daddy right quick. This is in the early 90s when I first went off to college. So he literally waited till I left home at 17 to come and find me. And
hmm,
so I had to now find him. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling every source like, I am so sorry. So it happens. It truly happens. I've experienced it as a child, and now talking to these different dads, I've experienced it as well.
Yeah. I look at uh I look at fatherhood as that no matter how old, I feel like we will always we have relationships with our children, our sons, but a mother has a more deeper bond because I think I've mentioned this before that how I look at when the child is being carried in the womb, what I'm saying, by the mother, they have a more spiritual, emotional, physical, what I'm saying, just a full connection because while that child is in the womb as a fetus, that child is being born, being fed by the mother. That child is being, it can't survive without mom. Everything within in this mother is wrapped inside of this child, inside your womb. It's a part of you. That child is a part of you. So now when that child is born and you push that baby up out of you, the first person that child see after the doctor done smacked them on the ass and cleared their mouth, they see mama. You know what I'm saying? They open their eyes and boom, mom is right there. The first time that child eat, if she breastfeeds him, he's gonna suck it from your fucking titties. You know what I'm saying? So excuse my language, but
This
he's
is a
gonna get
family show,
excuse my
and
language.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
edit. Going forward,
Uh,
keep that in
we can,
mind.
yes, ma'am. We can edit it together. He's gonna, he or she is gonna, get milk from your breast, and then when the dad grabs that joker, if he's there, he gonna look at him and he gonna start crying because he's confused now. Who is this? You know what I'm saying? I gotta adjust my eyes to this ugly man. So only thing we have the connection we give you our blood to and our sperm and our genes is connected to that child, but everything else y'all have. So then when if the father's not there, the mother is left to raise this child. And so I think y'all have a more connection and we still trying to, saying build this type of bond that y'all have with that child. That's why we always, a son is always the mother's my mother's child. I'm a mama's boy because, what I'm saying? The mother is the nurturer. She's there. The father's the disciplinary. You know what I'm saying? Our job is to discipline them little jokers. And, we can't be that, like you said, it's not being soft. It's just that we have to prepare them for the world. We have to prepare them to be men, not women. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women do great jobs at raising these boys. I've seen a lot of great young men come from these women that have raised them to be grown ass men. I'm proud of a lot of them, but we supposed to step in that place and take them and treat them as men if we know how to be a man. Some of us don't know how because we never learned or we never had fathers to teach us that. So we learn what we learn and we instill it in our kids. And it may be right, it may be wrong, but some of us got a hood background and the kids see that hood in you and you still in the hood doing hood stuff and you smoking weed with your sons and you know what I'm saying? I mean, like at a young age, you having them cuss around you and just stuff that you've seen, but we ain't blaming that. That's just how you came up. And if you don't grow, then your child ain't gonna grow. That's how I look at it.
I think that's a very good way to look at it. And it's very, very interesting that you say that's how I look at it, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying that some of these guys aren't taught to be a certain way. Do you also believe that life events, and let's talk about yours. You initially stated when you were doing your bio, I am one who has suffered from mental health. How has
Mhm.
that affected your parenting as a dad?
So my upbringing, what I'm saying, I'm grateful to have had a village. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to have had a village of great men that raised me. My mother was the strongest woman that I've ever known. My mother was a beast. You know what I'm saying? I felt like there was nothing this woman could. She was my superhero. She's never Kent. She was always Superwoman to me.
Mm,
So she I had an uncle, that was married to my auntie, who was my mother's sister. And they was married. They've been together as long as I was born. But he was a Marine. He was crazy. He used to beat us. bad. Like he used to make us do push-ups, butt ass naked on the ground. It's like 14 of us lined up on the carpet doing push-ups. And if anybody got out of didn't do the push-ups right, he would come across and beat you with this belt or switch or stick or whatever the fuck. And he used to tear our ass up, man. And I, oh man, I keep forgetting. But he used to tear us up, man, and I used to get it the worst. And he would just, one time, Joker, he really, really like put his hands on me bad. I was like 13, and this dude really beat me up. But when I got older and started really getting into mental health, I kind of learned why he was the way he was because I learned his background and how he was raised. He
Mm,
was a stepchild, and his mother passed, so he was raised by his father and his stepmother, and he had other siblings, but they were treated way better than he was. Oh, hold on,
Do 20 push-ups.
Alexa, stop.
mm.
She reminds me to do
Wow.
yeah, she reminds me to do my push-ups every morning. Thank you, baby.
I need something like that.
I know,
I
right?
think.
Yeah. She keep me on track. That's my woman.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you, baby. That's my woman. That's my wife. Tell me
I
I
keep
need to
looking
eat
at
and
the
do
thing.
it.
This, okay, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later because people
Yes.
are really falling in love with these devices. But go ahead with your story.
Yeah. So I had to find out his background and he was treated so badly. He was beaten and by his stepmother and no one ever came to his rescue. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? No one ever came to so mentally as a child, you know what I'm saying? If you never came to my rescue and I was being abused, most of the time they think that is normal because no
mm,
one ever, the grown-ups, no one ever protected me. Who protected me? So
mm,
now this is all he knows. So this is how he raised his kids the same way that he was raised. And
mm,
everybody knows right from wrong.
mm,
But if you're never taught that that was wrong, but you
mhm,
knew it was,
mhm,
why did it
mhm,
keep happening? You know what
mm,
I'm saying? So I developed that, you know what I'm saying? And I treated my kids, I never beat my kids, but I whooped them. And I was a very disciplined man to them. Then I went to the military. That made it even
mm,
worse. So, if I would look at my children, they knew what that meant. If I raised my voice, they knew what that meant. If they stepped out of line, they knew they was gonna get their butts whooped. You know what I'm saying? And I was hard because
mm,
that's all I knew as a father. That was my example of what a dad, even though I had other examples and
mhm,
I added that to it, but I think they were taught to make their kids fear them because if they feared them, then they would do anything they tell them. So they raised us with fear. Oh, you know how your mama always say, I'm gonna tell your daddy.
mhm,
I'm gonna tell your daddy because you knew what was gonna come. If daddy come home, he gonna tear that butt up.
mhm.
So you was scared to get a whooping. You was scared of daddy. So that's what I thought, man. But to this day, my kids respect me to the
Now
fullest.
that's what I was about to ask you. Do you think that they necessarily didn't think it was fear, but that it was respect, but it was actually fear?
I It was. I think they did. I didn't know
Mm,
until I started learning. We don't have a blue book on how to be parents, so we learn from what we see. Everything is self-taught, or what I'm saying, what you learn uh from being raised. You know what I'm saying. So it's what you see in the household. If a child see this daddy beating his mother, you know what I'm saying, his whole life. And every time he speaks and say, Mom, why dad keep beating you, like hitting you like that? That's not right. And she said, Oh, baby, that's just how he shows how he loved me. So, you know what I'm saying? Now they confused as a child and probably get raised up and think it's okay for a man to beat on them because that's love. Mama never left. So
hmm.
I think they do look at it as you gonna respect me regardless.
Mhm.
But fear, I'm gonna make you fear me as well. It's that slave junk. What did Master do to these big buck black men? He would make them fear him. They
Mhm.
would beat us. They would beat us so bad to make to where we feared them so bad. We didn't want no whooping from Master. So what do we do? Anything Master told us. If Master look at us sideways,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna look him in his eyes because guess what? If we did, we would get beat.
Mhm.
So it's a slave disorder that we're dealing with to this day. And that's all they knew growing up is if you beat that child, he's going to respect you, like you just said, and he's going to do whatever you tell him to because you the master.
I mean, but so how do you know your kids don't fear you? How do you know it's respect?
Well, cause I asked him, actually. I asked him,
They
but
might be scared to tell you.
I, yeah, well, now I don't think they are.
They're adults.
Yeah, they're adults, so they're
Okay.
able to speak their mind now. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And I actually one day I was downstairs, one of my homegirls, and we were smoking, and I asked her that. I said, "Hey, I wonder if my kids, we were talking about just mental
Mm-hmm.
health stuff and childhood stuff, and I was like, I wonder if my kids. I never asked them that question. Do they fear me, or do they love me, or did I raise them right? Do they feel like I was a bad dad?" And right when I said that, Mike walked in the door with his girlfriend, and I asked him, and he said, "No, Dad, he was a great dad," and that made me feel so good. I almost cried. I gave him a
Mm-hmm.
hug. Yeah, yeah,
I think that's the best feeling ever as a parent. You already know my son's no longer alive, but
yeah.
before he passed away, he came to me and looked me in my face. It's as if God gave me this gift from him that I'll never have to wonder how he felt. And he goes, "Do you know what YOLO means?" And I'm like, "Oh Lord, where's this conversation going?"
Mhm.
And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "No, you don't." He said, "You are a great mom. You are a
Yeah.
great wife. Dad fumbled you." He said, "YOLO mom means you only live once." And
Mhm.
he said, "You have taken care of me. You've taken care of Jada." Now, if he's 21 at the time, Jada's 4 years younger. You do the math, about 16, 17. I can't think. And he said, "You were the greatest mom ever." And
Yeah,
oh man, I can imagine how you felt as a dad because, like you said, as a mom, I mean, he was my first love. Even though I loved his dad, he was my first love. Like I couldn't do no wrong in his eyes.
yeah,
He was my
yeah.
biggest fan, my biggest cheerleader, and God sends me his friends every now and again to say that boy talked about you all the time. So that is the greatest feeling. I was very much the disciplinary one. I was very much into wanting him to be different than his dad and go to school and have a trade. You know what I'm saying? So I was straight laced, disciplined all the time as well. Um, when loving him, so I always wondered, just like you in that moment, did they think I was mean? My daughter will joke on me sometimes and go, "Ava just don't know." My grandbaby, my son's daughter, like she getting a nice version of you because you were so, so tunnel vision. So I'm glad that you've experienced that and that you really truly had that conversation, because when my grandmother believed in beating us. She beat us with water hose, like she
Yes,
beat us with
Lord.
water hose, you know, and she fed you. And I used to tell my mom, it was no love language for kids back then. Like this kid may need gifts. This kid may need compliments. This kid may need, you know what I'm saying? That love language thing. I fed you, I clothed you,
Mhm.
and you didn't, and I had you. I didn't abort you. Was the type of love that we received, and from my mom. My mom's mom was not the warmest. So my mom, I remember in college going, "I love you," and she would go, "Mm-hmm, all right," And so
Yeah.
one day I cried. I was like, "Can't you just say you love me back?" She was like, "I love you." Like, what do you mean? Don't I send you a care package?
Right.
Did I not give you the best of the best? And I'm like, "Yeah, but I just need to hear it." So I think that's a great thing that you've experienced in spite of
Yeah,
the abuse that you did overcome.
yeah, yeah. It was
So
rough.
how did that shape you? So we know how that shaped you. So let me just ask again then, because I'm a bit. So you said it shaped you
Yeah.
to do it or to not do it or to do it a different way.
It shaped me
Meaning the
so.
whooping.
So at a young age, I did it. You know what I'm saying? I still whoop. If they get out of line, I whoop them. But now, well, my other two, I never really, I didn't whoop. I think Jawan got more whooping. My oldest son got more whoopings than anything. My nieces, my nephews, they all respect me. And that's a great feeling they get disrespectful at times, and now it's to the point where when they get too out of line because they lost, if I feel like they lost and they get too out of line, a lot of times you have to learn on your own. So you got to learn to let go and let God, and that's how I've learned to do it. Like if you step out of line with me and you disrespect me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come at you in a way, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say, you know what? I ain't got nothing else for you. I'm always love you. I'm always be here. But you got to learn on your own. You're going to have to bump your head a few times in order for you to get it. That what we're saying, ain't nobody trying to, you know what I'm saying, control you or do this or do that. We trying to help you. We learn from experience, and you haven't experienced nothing yet.
Hmm.
But we trying to give you that soft cushion to fall on when you do fall. But you're going to have to hit hard. And that's the only way they're going to learn is to hit hard because we had to. So even though I would tell you this, even though my uncle was the way he was, now I understand why he was, and I understand why he did a lot of the things that he did. When a child disrespects you, your child, somebody that you raised and you spilled all your love and everything into, I would do anything for you. I would die for you.
Mm.
And you have the audacity to sit up here and say these words to me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm beneath you, like I'm not, like I'm a stranger in the streets, and I would die for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Jesus died for us all.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying we Jesus, but
Mm-hmm.
bro, I am your earthly father, and I'm the one that gave you life. And you come at me like that, I'm glad I never had to experience that from my
Mm.
children.
Right,
So
right.
when I experience it from somebody else, like these kids to this day, you know what I'm saying? I look at them and I pull them to the side and I talk to them. You know, you're disrespectful. A lot of these kids, they look at their parents. They don't understand us. We understand you. You know what I'm saying? This culture is different, but we understand you. You know, country living is the best living because country
Mm-hmm.
folks are raised with respect.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't stuck like these city kids that see all this stuff and see all this here and they want to be like this person and they feel like they can walk in and say this and say that to their parent. That's your parent. Your friends ain't gonna be there forever, but your parents are. You know what I'm saying? So he molded me in a way to make me, he was teaching me how to understand. He was preparing us for this world because he knew how hard it was gonna be. And he didn't want to see no, we was raised tough. You know what I'm saying? They would put like if me and my brother and them got into it with each other,
Mm-hmm.
my uncles, they would make us put boxing gloves on.
Mm.
And they would make us go out and box each other until we was tired.
Mm-hmm.
And if you was tired, keep going. Keep going. You're not gonna fight your brother anymore. So it says y'all want to fight, y'all gonna fight till you exhausted. And we couldn't even hit each other to the point where we was hugging each other.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
we were just
right.
so tired. Yeah. So we didn't want to do it no more.
So I'm curious. I mean, now that you're 65, you have that
You
wisdom,
can
right?
go somewhere with that one.
No, but seriously, you're speaking in wisdom, right?
Yeah.
When did you come into saying this was good for me? Or, like as a child, as a young man, did you always feel like this was a good thing or were you resentful
I was
at things?
resentful.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him,
Mm-hmm.
but I was afraid of him. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I wasn't afraid to the point where I stood up to him at one time. Uh, and after when I stood up to him, I was 16. It was when I would tell you I was going to the mall, me and my homeboy. I was a little gang member, so I was a crip. So me and my little crew.
Wait a
Uh,
minute now. Like you
oh
can't
yeah,
just throw that out. I didn't know that. Like this for
yeah,
real, for real?
yeah. I was a gang member.
Oh, I am not affiliated in any type of way. I did not know that. Let me put this disclaimer in. I've been knowing you for all this time. You ain't never said that before. But
Yeah,
what do
it's
you
my
mean you
past.
was?
It's my past.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
Okay.
I'm not active because you know, what I'm saying I am no longer.
Shut
Oh,
up.
did your little light come up?
What?
Is that on mine? You don't see that little light around?
No, I don't. That is
What? That
what?
is crazy. It's heavenly. You'll see it when you get it. It's nice. It look like a one of them little ring cameras.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cute. It might have came up on my end. I don't know. It's doing what your phone was doing, your thing was doing. But yeah, I was in a gang and me and my partners, we had went to the mall and like from let me see if I can give you like from our bike ride in Mississippi from the mall to where I live, it would probably be like riding a bike from here all the way to Roosevelt Boulevard, put it that way.
Mm.
So we went there, went to the mall. Now we was in there stealing, yeah, doing some stupid stuff. And so on the way back, my uncle was looking for me because my grandma was worried about where I was at. We didn't have cell phones back then. So my uncle was at my best friend's house. And I go to pass the street and I see his truck and he looks down and he sees me. He said, yell it out real loud. And I looked down and I was like, oh shit, shoot. And so it was like five of us. So they're like, cuz, you good? I said, yeah, man, that's my uncle. They're like, all right, you straight though? Yeah, I'm straight. So I go down there, ride down to my uncle, and they was about to come. And my uncle was like, y'all go back. And they look, you know what I'm saying? And then I said, y'all go ahead, man, I'm good. So my uncle said, get off the bike and give me 20 push-ups. He said 20, but in my head, I heard him say 10. So I dropped down in the middle of the street, started doing push-up. Boom, 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 knocked out 10. He was like, where you been? Your grandma been looking for you. Rah, 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 rah. So I started doing a push-up. My uncle took his foot now. My uncle was 200 and probably 50 pounds, 6'3", big old dude, solid, and can fight. He stomped. I was probably about a buck 05. Unc took that foot and stomped me in my back. Pow! I hit the ground and he just kicked me in my chest. Boom. And I'm like, oh my God. So in my head, I'm like, he finna kill me. So I jump up and I start running. And then I fell in a ditch. He caught me. He grabbed me by my back, picked me up, threw me up against his truck. And he said, God, pick your bike up, put it in the back of the truck, and you better not scratch my truck up. So I go to grab my bike, and when I put it in the back of the truck, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm already hurting. So when I picked the doggone bike up, it was like, so I scraped his truck a little bit. Man, that joke grabbed me and he hit me in the back of the head with like his hands was probably about two of mine, smacked me. And I was like, oh my God. He said, now get in my truck, get in my truck. And so when I go to get in my truck, my oldest brother was in the truck. I'm like, dang. So I'm sitting in the middle and I'm looking at my brother like, yo, if I run, he won't catch me because I know these woods. I hit these woods, he ain't gonna find me. So I'm looking at my brother like, help me.
What?
Yeah, and so my uncle gets in the truck and he said, your grandma been looking for you. You ain't nothing but trouble. You gonna go to jail by the time you hit 16, you're gonna be in prison and you gonna do this, do that. He took his fist and he punched me in my jaw so hard. And I was like, oh my God, he finna kill me. So he pulled up the street to this place called the Frog Pond and stopped in the middle of the road and my uncle just smacked me about 10 times. Pow, pow, just smacking the fire at me. And I'm looking at my brother like, bro, help me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we
Right.
doing? Like, dude about to kill me. And my brother was over there scared. He wasn't finna do nothing. So this before my brother was like really into that stuff, like really got hood out. It was my brother was a book reader, a book nerd. So man, he just beating the mess out of me. So he bring me to my grandma's house. And it's all of us in there. Like it was like it was a lot of us. So it was probably about 14, 13, about 14 of us in there. My sister and my little cousin, both of them was the females. And so my grandma standing there and my uncle comes in there and she like, baby, where you been? You done hurt my heart. I didn't know where you was at. And I was like, grandma. And then my uncle was like, pull your clothes down. I'm gonna show you what they gonna do to you if you go to prison. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, what? And so all my brothers, my sisters, you know what I'm saying, they sitting right there. And I'm looking at my grandma like, grandma. And my grandma told me, this thing hurt my heart. My grandma said, do what your uncle told you to do. And I was like, are you serious? And he said, pull your clothes down. He said, if you don't pull your clothes down right now, we can go outside and you going to fight me. And I looked at my uncle. I said, well, we going to go outside and fight because I'm not pulling my clothes down. And that joker jumped up and he said, don't you ever talk to me anymore. I am no longer your uncle. Da 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 da. And I was like, okay, cool. And I walked out. Yeah, I told my mama what happened. My mama told that joker, you ever hit my child again, I would kill you.
Michael, each year
Mhm.
there is a new story. Like when I think that I've heard it all, let me just pick my jaw up right quick. Hold on.
Yeah, baby.
What? What? Okay, what was he gonna show you? I just got to make sure.
Look, you know what? When I got older, I used to ask myself the same thing. I used to be like, what was he gonna eat? What you
And you
think?
never talk to him again to this
No,
day?
he did. He passed away. He was killed. God gonna come and get you when you do wrong by his children. But he was on a motorcycle going to work. He was working at a military base And he was going to work, and this white boy, coming from Biloxi, Mississippi, had fell asleep in the car. He was 16, and he drifted to the left side of the road, hit my uncle on the motorcycle, and it hit his main artery. He died on contact.
Mike,
He was
I
50, I
got
think he was
chills.
like 51 years old.
And this was how much longer after what happened, y'all? I'm just so out of, I'm outdone.
I was in the military after he did that, after he passed. It was like 2000, I think 2004 or 5, because I just got back from Iraq.
When you analyze it at this age and you look back, why did he say never to speak to him again? Like, or as a
Because I
child,
heard him.
huh?
I disrespected him. I was the first one to stand up to him.
To say no?
Yeah, to say no. Yeah.
So,
My cousin them got it worse. So you imagine if he did that to his nephews. You know what I'm saying? My cousin them, man, they used to love when we used to come over there and get them. You know what I'm saying? They used to love it. They used to be, because if we go over to his house, we clean. We doing this, we doing that. We was like, man, can we be kids and just play? We got to cut grass. We got to rake the yard. We got to do this. We got to do that. He was very disciplined and very firm. And he was an abuser. I got some, oh,
you
child, I
think
got
he sexually
some.
abused your cousin? I mean,
I,
I
no,
don't even care. I'm
no,
so outdone at how much SAN is done in families
yeah,
that the families know about and it's the norm, or they
yeah,
just afraid of that. I don't understand.
yeah.
I don't
And,
understand.
and see, I never talk about this publicly because I don't want my auntie, because she worshipped the ground that man walked on, like still to this day.
And that's her what, brother?
No, that was my auntie's husband. You know what I'm saying? He's not born from my grandmother. He was married into the family. You know what I'm saying? But back then he was a strong man. He handled the one thing I loved about him, what I learned from him and what I took from him, is that man was a man. Regardless of all that, that was in the past. I pushed that to the side because I learned to understand why he did the things that he did. You know what I'm saying? He needed help and he never got it. He needed help from a child to when he became an adult, and he never got it. You know what I'm saying? So he was a lost child. You know what I'm saying? So what he did, it was anger all inside this man, and he took it out on the wrong people, the people he loved, because he thought that love was that, because it happened to him. And then they told him they loved him all this time, but no one never came to rescue this man. I was rescued. You know what I'm saying? Like my cousin then was rescued, but no one came to his aid. And he was like treated like a only child. But that man, that was his way of loving us. He did have love in his heart. He was a great man. He taught me how to work on cars at a young age. He taught me how to fight. He taught me how to handle money. Like he was the first black loan officer in the state of Mississippi. The first black, I'm saying, in Hattiesburg. You know what I'm saying? The man he was a great he was a great mentor. You know what I'm saying? He taught me a lot of stuff, how to talk to people, how to stand up to folks. I've learned a lot from him. So all that right there that I got from him. Mine is the abuse. I can push that shit to the side because I'm grown now. You know what I'm saying? What happened, what happened. But I'm able to understand why he did what he did to be able to change myself and develop myself to be a good father to my children. So now my kids are all around me. You know what I'm saying? They love being around me. They respect me like a mug. You know what I'm saying? They forgive me for the other two. They were guinea pigs to me being a father, my first two children, because I didn't know how to be a dad. I was 20 years old trying to be a father.
With
You know
all
what
of
I'm saying?
that.
Yeah, I was a child raising children.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to live my life and have fun and see what this world has to offer.
For sure.
But I got kids to raise. So now I have to slow a lot of that down. But they saw me in my drunken state. My oldest son saw me in my drunken state. At 13, my son was 12, 13. He was driving me home from
Mm.
being drunk. You know what I'm saying? Driving me home from being drunk. And just a lot of stuff. They took care of me. They see me in my drunken state. They see my anger. They see me fight. They see my rage. They see me beat up folks grown folks that said something sideways to them. You know what I'm saying? They seen me punch walls and break my hand. They seen me break glasses up against the wall because I had a lot of anger in me.
Mm.
I would never put my hands on a woman, but I used to get mad and walk out. I would punch a hole in a wall, tear down doors. Like I was really like a savage, and they saw
Mm.
all that. You
Mm.
know, I had to grow up.
So, how do you think you grew up from it and how some dads don't? What did you do differently to see this as a glass half full?
Counseling. I had to go get counseling. I had to talk to somebody because we don't see that in ourselves because it's in us. People will tell us something is wrong with you, but we don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. No, you're not okay. Like it's okay to be okay. You know what I'm saying? But I was not okay. And then when I went and finally said, let me go seek some counseling. After all this stuff I went to combat with and coming home, I was a changed man. You know, I didn't know my kids anymore because I've been over here doing this for 18 months. Uh, and I come back and I'm a changed man and my kids are different because they've been away from me for a long time. So now again, I have to build this relationship because I'm a new guy. I don't think I've changed, but my ex-wife knew I changed. The people around me knew I changed. I wasn't the same person I was when I left. And so I had to kind of look in the mirror, look at myself in the mirror and be like, bro, something ain't right with you. You know what I'm saying? You're different. And then when I found out I was different and found out why, now, like I tell a lot of folks, when you go in these counseling sessions, these people give you the tools, you know what I'm saying, to be able to fix you. You just got to take them tools and apply it. And once you apply it, because the only person that's going to heal you is you. A person can talk to you all day and tell you to do this and do that and do this and do that, but you have to do the work. And if you don't do the work, you're going to stay right there in that sunken place that your ass been in for the longest.
Okay, so you did Michael Jackson, looked at the man in the mirror.
Yes, ma'am.
But there are a lot of men that look in that mirror and go, yeah, something ain't right, but I ain't going to no counselor. What was that moment that said, yeah, something ain't right, but I want something different. I want to be better. What happened?
I had to drop that ego and that tough guy attitude. Um, and one of the biggest thing, you know, my ex-wife left me. I was alone. I was stuck. My kids was gone. It was just me.
Mm,
And I was out here in this world trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to mask everything with alcohol and fun and partying and women. You know what I'm saying? And I masked everything that I was going through. And then once the noise got quiet, that's why we meditate.
mm-hmm,
Once the noise got quiet and you was alone with yourself and
mm-hmm,
everybody was gone and it's just you really learn the person who you really, really, really is. And sometimes you don't like that person.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? You want to become a better you. So when the noise was turned off, and I used to swear to God, I used to sit in my apartment when I was in New York or wherever I was at. I used to sit in my apartment on my floor with a whole bottle of Hennessy, playing slow music, crying. I used to drink a whole Hennessy a day, crying, bruh. And I used to call my cousin, you can call my cousin right now. I used to call her almost every night on the phone crying to the point where when me and her got off the phone, she used to call me over and over again and I wouldn't answer the phone because she thought I probably done killed myself.
mm. That's how
Yeah.
bad it was. I
Mhm.
still think, and I'm going to ask you again, you know how I am. I'm an
Yeah.
overanalyzer. I still want to know, yes, you were alone. Yes, you were, you know, with these thoughts, and yes, you didn't like yourself. Still, for my dads out there, what what else? I mean, is there, I don't know why I think there's something else that has to click to say that stigma is not real. That doesn't make you weak to go. It doesn't. What could you tell my dads to say, it's worth it? Or what can you say to them to like convince them if they're at that last drink and they're looking in the mirror and it's like, I want something different. but I don't know what to do. How do they even start to get counseling? What if they don't have insurance? Like, what do they do? What is the next step after saying I want something different?
Yeah. It's if you don't have insurance, there is free counseling that you can get. I sit on the board of the Northwest Mental Health, Northwest Behavior, over off Edgewood Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Call me. I give you the info. One of the president, he does every, I think, second or first Saturdays. He does a at 10 o'clock in the morning. He does a call with a lot of brothers. It's the Black mental health counselors of Jacksonville or something. They're older brothers, and they've been mental health doctors forever. And they'll get on the line with you, and they will talk to you and help you in any way that needs help. There are free counselors that you, and a lot of folks don't know that. There are organizations out here that we don't know anything about that would give you free counseling without insurance because they get money from the state to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you got Medicare or Medicaid or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They'll help you out. But I think the first step is to realize that you have that problem. You know what I'm saying? Once you realize you have a problem, a lot of us don't think we have an issue or a problem. But if someone continuously tells you that you ain't right, bro, something ain't right, get off your AWS and go seek help. Because if you break, it's too late. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? If you
Mm-hmm.
break, it's too late. And that's one thing I was afraid of. That if I was gonna break, because I was on the breaking edge, I used to, you see these knuckles, you
Mm-hmm.
see these
Mm-hmm.
bruises and scars and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. That's war wound. Look at that hammer head right there. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? These are war wound, man. We fought, and
Ins-
we fought.
Insert the number so I can make a short right here for them to contact. Do you know it off the rip?
I have if I go through my phone and get it for you,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
before we're done.
So those
But
knuckles, you're saying you used to punch the wall?
I used to punch the wall. I used to break my hands all the time because I used to get so mad. I used to punch a wall, and I used to spring. I broke it one. Well, I broke it one time fighting, but I used to continuously, like both of my knuckles, I sprung them
Mm.
punching walls.
And
I had
so counseling, how did counseling, we'll just start right there, make you stop breaking these walls?
because counseling makes you look deeper into the person that you are. You know what I'm saying? It makes you. They call
Intros.
it's this mind thing that they do. They make you they have you close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, they start speaking. It's like meditation. They'll sit you in a meditation mode and it'll take you out of the world, basically. Uh, they'll say, close your eyes, now breathe. And once you start breathing, they they say they give you stuff to look at. Now I want you to visualize this wall that's in front of you. And within this wall, what I'm saying, there's a barrier or the whatever. I want you to break through that wall and go forward. And as you go forward within this wall, I want you to blah 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 blah. Now you so focused on of what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? You don't think about nothing else. You're only thinking about what they're saying. And once they take you out of that, now they bring you to your worst trauma. You know what I'm saying? Once they get you in a relaxed mode where you're now so focused that you know how sometimes people are talking, you're thinking, and then you start thinking about something else, and now you over here, you're not there, you're not listening. They make you listen, and you're focused, and you're so focused that when they tell you to go to this dark place, you go. And then when you go to that place and start talking about it, now you start getting more comfortable of the situation that you're in, and you start understanding that, dang,
Are
this is
you on a couch?
how
Are you on a
you,
couch?
yeah, you're on the couch, you probably even laying on your back. You know what I'm saying? They get you in the most comfortable mood where you can relax. You can lay on your back. You can sit on the couch and lay down. I laid on the couch. One we did it one time. I was laying on the floor, and it was a group of us, and we was all laying on the floor. And the lady, you know, had us come. Like the first time I did it, I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't see past that wall.
Mm,
I had just came back from deployment. All I seen was like blood and
mm.
darkness and death and stuff. So I kept my eyes open because I was afraid to close them again. because
Mm,
she couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So it'll mess with you, and you got to do it a couple times to get your body and your mind used to it. And once you learn that how to control this,
mm-hmm,
you know what I'm saying? And that's what they teach you, mind control. Once you learn how to control this, man, you good. Now it'll make you want to want to go and seek help because it works. You know,
mm.
it's something different. It's something you never tried before. It's a tool.
You start feeling better.
Yeah, you start feeling a whole lot better. And when you start thinking, when you start going back to that dark place, then you result to that tool that they gave you, and
Mm.
it takes you out.
So you have many years of, as a child of being abused and different things like that. How long did counseling, how long, how much counseling did you have to do to feel some results?
I took counseling at the end. Uh, I didn't take it in the beginning because I never thought I had an issue. If you look at, I was raised with discipline. I was raised to be tough my whole life. My uncle was a disciplinarian. All my uncles was disciplinaries. We had one uncle that was a pastor, and he was that cushion. He was that uncle that was everybody. He was like Bill Cosby to us.
Mm,
You'll say Uncle Stanley. He was Bill Cosby to us. My Uncle JP, he was around our same age a little bit, but he was that guy we wanted to emulate because he had all the girls. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? So we had great father figures in our life, but they were never wronged us. Like the strongest people in our family was the women.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like them was old school, strong ass women. You know what I'm saying? But they protected their men. They did. They were mothers. They were women. They cooked. They cleaned. They worked. They did everything that they were supposed to do as a woman
mm-hmm,
and as a father. So they was always there. They was always there. They took us to the football game. They took us to the basketball game. They signed us up for the sports and the boys club and all this other stuff. Mama did that. You know
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So, even if I wouldn't have, and my father now,
mm,
he was there, but he was a really nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to whoop us. We respected him so much and respected our mother whooped us more than pops.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Pops protected us though. So yeah, I had to get that. And you know what I'm saying? It took me a minute because, back in the hood, we always, we don't need no counseling. Ain't nothing wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? Counseling too expensive anyway. We thought that, we
mm-hmm,
couldn't afford it,
for
you
sure.
know? So didn't nobody take you to no guy. Ain't nothing wrong with Mike. He just a little slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see
Right?
that. No, I'm just kidding. So, I mean, so for my dads that do have insurance, are they able to take advantage of the program as well? Because
They are. They
even
are. 'Cause
the copay can be too expensive for guys. You know what I'm saying? For some insurances, every time you go, it could be $25, and that could be something they can't afford, and that could take them away from,
yeah, there's no copay for this one. You know,
can they use their insurance?
they can. They
Oh,
can.
okay.
They can. If they call, and it's a website. I will send you the phone number. And then I text Mr. Washington to get the line, uh the call in for that date so I can make sure I have it. Because one of my partners, his mother died in front of his house,
Mm.
in her car. She overheated or something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong. She was sitting in the car. It was so hot here in Florida. It
Mm-hmm.
was so hot, and she sat outside in the car, and she what I don't know what you call it, but
Overheated, heat
yeah,
exhaustion.
yeah, heat exhaustion, and she passed away, and she was out there for 3 hours before anybody found her. He was inside on his computer working, and she was out there dead for 3 hours. Guess who found her?
Let's say the child.
His children
Mm.
coming home from school.
Ah.
Yeah, so I had to talk to him, and man, that was a painful thing for that brother. And
So, I mean, let's talk about that. We know that you loved your mom, and your mom, recently passed. What? It's been a couple of years now,
yeah, about
and
4 years, I believe.
4 years. Has it been four
Maybe,
years already, Mike?
maybe 2022.
Yeah, my mom was 2021. God, it has been, it's 25. Yeah.
Because
That's,
Chris died what, 2021?
you
Yeah,
got
Chris
me.
died in 2021, yeah.
Okay.
So she died right after Chris, right after I damn near healed from Chris, she passed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's Mother's Day weekend. And, I talked to another dad. The name of his podcast was The Motherless Dad. His,
Hmm.
he did not have the relationship or know his mom. His mom passed away, at a very young age. How, you know, does that affect you now when it comes to parenting now that you've lost your mom? So, let me just ask a different way. So, with grief
Hmm.
and dads and not being allowed to grieve out loud, how do you think that affects men when they lose a loved one? Because, society wants men to be strong and not cry and continue to go to work and continue to parent and, provide for the family. They don't get the time they need to grieve.
I can't speak for other men, but I would say to me, and I can't because one of my best friends, when his mother passed, uh, you know, I came over his house and he was sitting in the dark, and me and him, we had a conversation and we talked, and he cried. We cry in front of each other. Me and him, we that just that
Wonderful.
close. You know what I'm saying? It's okay for us to cry.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And we have those moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's I'm a man regardless. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. You know what I mean? So if I cry in front of my brothers, I'm not afraid to cry. You know what I'm saying? If I shed a tear, at the same time, try me. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Don't let the tears fool you. You know how we say it? Don't let the tears fool you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we were there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when his mother passed, that was his mom. You know what I'm saying? He from Mississippi too. So we have this bond. The Southern folk got a certain bond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when especially when you got these strong mamas. But we cried and we talked about it. And I couldn't imagine losing my mom. So I called my mom after that. But when my mom passed, I think I've already uh, I had already kind of fixed my mind to accept the death of a loved one because we all gonna die one day. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? We don't know when, we don't know how, but we all gonna die one day. And so with me being able to accept that, that she's in a better place. She was in pain. She was suffering. She wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to cry, get it all out of my system because I give myself a day. Once a month, I give myself a day to let it all out.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Get it out the way. Cry, bruh. Be by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
People will call you, interrupt your thing, but sometimes I won't answer the phone. Folks be like, "Yeah, I text you and called you." Like I'm in my moment.
Mm-hmm. I'm folks, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in my moment right now. Let me be there. I hit you up tomorrow. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my moment. So I need
Okay.
that moment just to release and let.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That
So
is
I
so
give myself
awesome.
that. Yeah. Give
So you
yourself
would
time.
recommend that guys give themselves, just take it. Like it is necessary to continue to be the king that you are, to be the leader that you are, to just take that day.
Take that day.
And it is my goal as the curator of the It's Okay Dad event to erase the stigma behind grieving out loud and taking that time as a dad so that you will be able to still be the super dad that you are. Um, like I said, I'm today years old on the different things I find out that men have to go through because A, I'm not a man.
Hmm.
And B, I have a certain thought that I've always thought, right? That's how it is, Like, you ask dads things like, why don't you fight for your kids? Or why did you let child support come out? Like, you guys have so many things you don't have even the control over, or you have been taught, or that if you haven't taught, you just don't do it because you have a group of homeboys that says that's not cool. That's simping, So it's so many obstacles that you have to, even go through to just be a human being.
Hmm.
And so I want to take this time to say, I'm proud of you. I've known you for all these years, Mike, and I am so proud of the person that you are, the man that you are. And I think that we all, I mean, this is a lesson, Tanzanites. We take for granted what men literally have gone through, okay? To be able to show up. I mean, and here's another entity. You're an entertainer.
Yeah.
So everybody sees you as the singer. I put on my earrings in reference of the singing notes because I really thought this was going to go a way different way today. But look at God, and all it went in the informative way that I truly wanted from my heart. But being an entertainer, I want to talk about that for a second. Let me see. Yeah, I got enough time. How does that affect you, you know, what people expect from you, and like how you're feeling when you're saying, I just need this day, but they're expecting you to entertain them all the time? How does that affect you as a man?
It don't, because one, it's one of my coping mechanisms actually. Uh, it's a way, it's something that I enjoy, it's something that I love doing, and it occupies my mind and it takes me places because it makes me smile because these are things that I used to sing to my mom. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? She'd always have me, if I go to church with her, she'd have me sing. You know what I'm saying? So there are happy things that, how people say, don't think about the bad, think about the good.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And there was no bad when it came to my mom. I swear to God, I'm telling you, my mother was a superhero. So there was no bad when it came to her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would always think about the good, the great times that we had, and they were all great times. Even if my mother never you would never know that my mama was broke,
Mm,
or you would never knew that we was poor because we never went without. She
mm-hmm.
always made a way out of no way. So those were the good times that I had. We always had a Christmas. We
Mm,
always had Easter. We always had a car. We always had food. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know my mama used to steal clothes for us. You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
she made a way out of no way at all times. So when I do things that she kept me into, she the one got me into acting.
mm,
My mother. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Because she saw something in me that I probably didn't. And
mm,
she took that and she said, okay, this is what my baby like to do.
mm-hmm.
Bam, I'm gonna keep my baby doing it. Get up there in that church choir and sing, boy. You got a voice, God gave it to you. Use it. So, I take that and I do it. But before we go, I'll tell you this one thing. When I said earlier about, the things that men go through with the mothers and stuff like that of their children. So, my baby mom, my son just turned 18 yesterday. Proud of him. I've been developing this kid since he was young. I taught all my kids except for Mike. I taught all my kids how to box.
Mm.
So he's a boxer. He just won his first belt,
Wow.
yeah, not too long ago. So I
Oh.
had him in the boxing, started him. When he comes here, he goes around the corner to my boy house and he trains him. So you know, this kid is, I had to be different with these two because I've learned more. And I wish I was this way when I was younger. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? A little bit wiser where I can instill it and it'd be a little bit not hard as a discipline, for them to obey. I know it's a bad word to use, but as far as marking their path to where they need to go.
mm,
And I did that with them, but it was a little bit different because I was never there. I was always deployed or in the field or something. But I hadn't, when she put me on child support, I was married at the time when I had him. And you know what I'm saying? God knows my heart, so he's already forgiven me. But um I asked him for that forgiveness. But I had me and my baby mom, you know what I'm saying, when she found out that I wasn't gonna go to her, leave my ex-wife for her, um, things shifted. And now, I'm on child support. Child support comes to the house and I wasn't there. I was deployed. And my ex-wife got it.
mm,
And when she saw that, oh my God, it broke her because she didn't know. And he was 4 years old at the time. And so she calls me while I'm out and she's crying and damn, I already knew, but I already fixed my mind to one day be able to tell her, but to accept. I don't went through the pain. I wasn't ready to deal with hers. So once I had to deal with it and it's got over, she accepted him at the end. But during our process of her pain, you know what I'm saying, I had to go through it with her and I had to see that pain in her. And I don't know if it affected my kids or not that they knew about that because, you know, but minus that, now I'm going through it with baby mom because she's not acceptable. We're still in a good place, but I couldn't take my son nowhere because she always wanted to go with us. So I couldn't have no alone time with her. We used to fight over him coming. Like there have been many a times I bought plane tickets for him. She never put him on the plane. You know what I'm saying? I would end up driving down to Texas to pick him up and drive him back for the summer. I would fly him down to here to my mom so he can grow up with his cousins and stuff like that while I was deployed. And then I would come back and spend probably about 2 weeks with him and then have to send him back home. Till it got to the point of paying all his child support. You know what I'm saying? Why am I going through this? So I took her to court. And when I took her to court, they was gonna send her to jail because she was violating the court order. So I was like, yo, I don't want to go to jail. Only thing I want is to be able to have a relationship with my son. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to, you know what I'm saying, act like she has to be everywhere when I want to take my son somewhere because she act like she think I'm gonna steal him or something like that. It was just bad. So then it got to the point of me retiring. So she ended up getting more child support money. And I'm okay with it. It was already getting taken out. I'm not tripping. As long as I can have a relationship with my son, that's all it was about. So I had to take her to court again in 2020. I think my mom had just passed or she was still here, one of them. So I ended up taking her to court. I ended up getting custody of him. Uh, he was here for like 8 months living with me. And he's been with his mom for so long that
Mhm.
he was still a mother's child.
Mhm.
He used to this lifestyle
Right.
that forcing him into. So now I'm raising him and, we going through whatever. We're having a great time here, but he's still hurting. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to take him from her. When I went down to court to do this,
Mhm.
I had to take him because she came and checked him out of school because she knew that I had got custody. She didn't come to court.
Mhm.
She checked him out of school because she knew I had custody.
Mhm.
She hid him. So I
Mhm.
had to act like I left Texas and was heading home. And the lawyer told me, you know what I'm saying, get your child. So I came back that morning. I stayed at a hotel that night, got up that next morning, went to his school, checked him out of school, showed him the child support order, the teachers that I have custody of him
Mhm.
now. I'm withdrawing him from school. They brought him out of class to me. No clothes, no bags, no nothing. And I left.
How old was he?
He was 15, maybe. Yeah, 15.
How did
Not
he feel at that moment?
he understood, but he was a child. And and again, I wasn't thinking about that.
It
I
was
was thinking,
between like it was between you and the baby mama.
yes,
Really? Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So as we're driving, it's quiet
Mm.
in the car. Now we're
Jesus.
driving all the way from Texas back to Florida. It's 17 hours of this.
Mm.
He's over there in the seat quiet. And so he wasn't crying or nothing like that. He understood. I explained everything to him, and he was like, I said, bruh, I know if I go over there to your house, me and your mama gonna get into it. We're gonna get the police involved.
Mm.
I don't want all that. So I said, I get you clothes and I get you all this, you'll be good. So boom, we
Jesus.
drive. His mother calls him.
What?
And she's going in on the phone. You can hear her. She crying. She's hollering. And that's what she does. She's wilding out. And he's like, Mom, calm down. No, Mom's not like that. And he started crying. You know what I'm saying? So I snatched the phone. I said, hey, please give him some time. And she wouldn't let me talk. She going in. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. You took my son. She go, I hate you. I hate you. So his grandmother calls and I can talk to her. She more calm. So I'm talking to grandma. And grandma's like, I understand he needs to be with you. And she said, I get it. Just make sure he's okay. I get her. And I said, thank you. So we get here in Florida and he's doing everything and all this other stuff. He's okay. Around Christmas time, I'm sending him back and forth. She sends him back for the summer. She sends him back Christmas. The last summer, she never sent him back. She kept him. And so I'm going through the courts and all this stuff, and he's supposed to be in school and all this other junk going on. And going through the courts, I'm going back and forth to Texas, wasting money for this judge to tell me at the end that she threatened the judge, told the judge she gonna go to the news and all this other stuff. So I told the judge, I said, you know what? I said, let me go talk to my son. So I go out there and I Sat down and I talked to him. And instead of me putting on my dad ears, I put on my listening ears, the ears that need to listen to understand, not the ears that
Mhm.
just listen and think,
That's
you the
good.
dad, what
That's
you say
good.
go. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So I listened to him and I said, tell me how this made you feel, because I never put your thoughts in consideration of how this made you feel. Let's sit down and talk. Because at one time he had got disrespectful when I was calling him. He had got disrespectful, and I had to go in on it because his mother done told him, your dad stole you from me, your dad did this, your dad did that, telling him lies. And so I was like, yo. And so when he was talking, he said, Mom said this. I said, and I cussed this boy out so bad. Don't you
Mm.
disrespect me a day in your life, boy, I would tell you. You understand me? He was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would never, don't you ever talk to me like that. I don't know who you think you is. Your little balls done dropped and da 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 da. And he was like, yes, sir. I said, now get off this goddamn phone. God dang phone, and I hung the phone up. So you know what I'm saying? So there were times I would call him, I would text him. Me and him we could be on the phone for 3 hours talking. And when he didn't answer the phone and all that stuff, it hurt me. You know what I'm saying? It hurt me. So when I had to sit there and listen to him to tell me, he said, Dad, I love you. You know what I'm saying? But, my mom, I was raised up with her. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to see her hurt because all the men in her life she has lost. Her father, both of her brothers are in prison. Her stepdad passed away. Like he's the only man in that family, so he feels like he has to take care of his mom. And he said, "I want to come stay with you, but my mom needs me." And I
Mm.
was like, "My son growing up, he
Yes, yes.
understands."
I gotta plug
So
up my computer. I am so sorry. Keep talking.
yeah, so I had to sit there and I had to realize that we both were being selfish. We never listened to him. It was
Mm-hmm.
about us. And I knew for her it was a child support, but it was about us.
Oh gosh.
We
Oh,
made
there
it
we go.
about us. Yeah, we made it about us. And we never thought about how this kid felt. We thought that we was making the right decisions to say this is what's best for him. You know what I'm saying? And he's 15, 16. Now he's in a better place and he's doing great. And now she understands. So when I went down there for his fight about a year ago, well, not even a year, last summer, I went to Texas because he had his first fight. And last time I talked to her, she jumped on the phone and she was cussing. You know what I'm saying? Like, here, me and him signed up for his college. You know what I'm saying? He's getting ready to go to school. He got a scholarship and he's going on my military to Texas Southern University to be a lawyer. When I had Last time I had talked to her, she on the phone harping, then she hung up. That's what she does. She'll get on the phone, say what she got to say, then she'll hang up in my face. I'm like, what in the world? When I get there, I see her, and I was like, hey, and she hugs me. She hugs me, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm clutching my pistol because I'm like, what is she about to do? You know what I'm saying? So she was like, hey, and she acted like everything was okay. She sat there and had I had my little baby with me. She said, oh, this is brother. This is Jamal's brother. Introducing him to everybody and stuff like that. And she's really sitting there reminiscing about the back in the day. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, Lord, what is going on? I even went to his house inside. She ain't never invited me to the crib. She didn't even tell me where they stayed. And she thought we were staying. So now her whole vibe has changed. Now I can text her and we can have a conversation now. Because I think she ended up realizing I'm not here to hurt my child. I'm here to goddamn gonna make sure that this boy walks the path that he needs to walk to be successful in life. That's it. And she got it. And he looked at me, he said, Dad, what's going on? I said, I don't know. I was about to ask you the same question. He said, Mom is different now. I said, I see. We was tripping, driving back to Texas. I mean, to California. So, I mean, to Florida. So I just wanted to say that, man. Like sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It just takes, don't give up on your child, no matter how hard or how this woman is. You know what I'm saying? They need us. And sometimes we got to listen to our kids because we think we know everything, but times have changed. I mean, we can listen, but then we take it from there. But women, once they realize that you're not there for the purpose that they think you are, life goes on. You know what I'm saying? You get a new woman, it is what it is. They ain't got nothing to do with you. It's about that kid. Make it about that child. Don't give up on your children, because if you give up on them, you're gonna give up on yourself, and they're gonna resent you for life because you gave up on them. They don't know. They young. They got these messed up mindsets. Their mind don't develop till they 25. So don't give up until they
Amen.
then give up.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I heard you. I can.
I don't know. You see this? It has changed. The screens done changed. The microphone stopped working. You didn't even know. Thank
Really?
God for your good story. Yes, I'm like, what is going on? I don't even know how we on side by side now, not on top of each other. This Zoom has a mind of its own. But I tell you what, this has been the most Tanzanites. I know that you guys probably love his voice. I'm gonna have him on in a less serious capacity because every time I have Mr. Carter on, everybody loves him. He is Mike Dre to me in my phone. He is a friend. He is an encourager. This man has risen from the ashes. Like I never knew he had all these things going on. Do y'all know he just check on me like, yeah, I ain't heard from you. I need to check on my friend. You know what I'm saying? He is a man that believes in love. I mean, like of his family, his children, his friendships, the love of art. He's well-rounded, being with all the things that he has experienced. I am so impressed today. I didn't think I could ever be even more impressed with you, Michael, but I am so impressed. Regardless of all the jokes and all of the joshing that we do with each other, this is going to help a lot of my dads. I'm trying to not cry because you know I'm a crybaby. I want to thank you for sharing your talents with the world, but just sharing your story. We do have another podcast that we did on PTSD about how that affects us going forward. But Tanzanite, this is the story. Rewind. I'm gonna have to somehow add the phone number in the comments because he didn't give it to us yet, but he did give us the name of the organization so we can look it up online. Please, dads, seek mental health. It helps our families, it helps our futures. Um, and that's just that. I mean, I think we can end right there. This has been great.
It's North. Hold on. It's Northwest Behavioral Health. It's 904-781-7797. 904-781-7797. Tell them Brother Carter sent you.
And that is for mental health services, whether you have insurance or not. Once again, I'm signing off. You know, you can find this podcast on my website. The links to it is on iHeart, Apple Music, all the podcast links out there. You can find It's Okay to Live because it is okay to live. I love you, Tanzanites, and I'll see you soon with my next dad.